How's everybody doing? Come down to the park, got out of the house. I was sitting on the doing some notes today. I just did a video before I left to come out because I'm going to go for my walk. It's about 1:15, something like that, and it's 80 degrees, so it's a good time to get some sun. And then yesterday, I don't know if we can see it in this lighting, there was like in this image right here where it looks dark, there's actually a face. I tried to show it in one of my videos yesterday. I don't know how well we can see it because I got a glare on my phone. But I thought that was just some fascinating stuff. On this side, got tobacco. Been smoking a couple of marijuana hits. Like to go out and walk after I take a couple of hits and just relax, and I get on a roll. I do that when I'm studying as well. When I'm studying or when I'm going to work out or do a walk or something like that. Mary Jane affects me differently than the majority, it seems like, of the people. It might be because of my thinking and what I've always programmed myself. Because even when I was a youngster doing it in high school and stuff, I would do excellent on my studies because I'd smoke out and then I'd go and I'd do my homework. And it's like I really got into it. I think I've been programmed since then. And then going to the military and then getting out of the military. Of course, I couldn't do it in the military, but when I got out of the military, I'm a civilian now, so I got right back into it. Then I was going to college in San Diego, and then it helped me all through those classes too. I got a D in one of them, political science. I got a D. I got a D because it's like the craziest thing ever. It's because I didn't reference my sources, so I got a D. And so when you write a report about something, you got to give credit to where you got the information. I wasn't thinking at the time, and I was in a hurry to put it together, just because there are things in my life. So because I had 3 jobs at the same time, but it's kind of interesting. It's like in this book I'm reading, Think Big, and big things will happen. It's how we look at things, right? And again, I look at my life experience, my work experience, how I got promoted, and my attitude and what I was thinking, and how it was so easier, because it was easier for me to be in management positions everywhere I was going. It may have taken me about the Costco one took me about 6 years, because I've worked for them for 12 or 13 years. I think 12 years I worked for them. Maybe 13 years. I think I worked for them for 13 years. How interesting, the number 13. I did work for them for 13 years. And I spent 7 years in management, in different management positions. So, and then in the military, I was in charge of, the tool room. I was in charge of all these things. I wasn't a manager, but I was, the highest grade in those departments. So when I look back on my life, and even when I got out of high school, a year after working at a pizza joint, I was the nighttime manager, and there was people that were always there. So when I look back on my life and I see how things unfold, and I see my drive and what I was looking for, it's like we really can achieve the things that we think about, a positive attitude, and rehearsing things to ourselves, because we're always being put down in this world, not being told we're not good enough, and then we think that we're not good enough, or like being in my job to where, uh, um, saying something about a position or somebody's position, um, when the chances could be that position could come open, and then will I be selected or not? Um, that's happened a couple of times in life, but I don't think the uppers knew about it. But I see myself talking to one of my friends about it that didn't work there, just offbeat when we were talking about our problems. But again, it was the mindset, it was the thinking, and the action. Um, Again, it's our actions, right? It's what we're thinking and what we're going forward. So if we're constantly thinking that we can't do something, it's like my cousin, she got crippled because of other, well, my cousin, blood cousin, and his wife. He's passed away now. He's around the same. He would have been the same age as I am, which is 58 and almost 59. Um, he got drunk and pushed her, and so she fell down the stairs. But she crippled her legs, so she's in a wheelchair bound for the longest time. But she plays victim. She plays. Serious. You know, I'm not bad mouth. I'm just doing an observation. But even before that even happened to her, she was always childlike, not grown up. But they have 2 kids, and believe me, these kids have no control, and they're kind of out of control. I'll just put it that way. Um, and then she's, she's like, Casey, I can't, do these things. She'll make comments like when I say, get up every day and do this, and she'll make up excuses. She'll write on the post, I can't do that. I'm still wheelbarrow. I'm going to be a wheelbarrow, for the rest of my life. And I said, it's what you say. So you're putting out there that you're not going to be able to get out of this chair for the rest of your life. But when you look at videos of dogs getting hit, they're just dragging the bottom part. They have no movement at all, no sensitivity. And here, after a years of the owner, getting them, setting them up and walking with them, giving them positive encouragement. Next thing you know, the dog is walking. May not be perfect, but the dog is not having to depend on a chair. The dog is, moving. We can do the same thing. We can overcome our situations. But we got to want to do it. We got to believe that we can do it, and then just do it. But when we sit down and do nothing about it, it's just like when I was saying, I said, you can sit in your wheelchair and move your arms in circles or pretend like you're lifting weights, because when you lift your arms, all the time like that, they're going to eventually get sore. And when they get sore, that's when that you're going against the gravity, the wind, it just gets harder and harder. I said, that's how you build up muscle. That's how you keep yourself in shape, is to challenge yourself, raise your heartbeat, find some way of doing that. And, again, there's my mother as well, where she lived in the dark. She's, someone had told them that they got skin cancer, way back when I was a teenager, very young. And she's lived in the dark ever since. She's, afraid of it. It runs in her family, and I can get it, and I don't want to get it. Well, she got breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. Her mother had cancer, and both my aunts had her sisters got. So it's kind of like in the genes and repeated. But she healed from it. They treated her for it, and she healed from it. But it's that, they plugged it in through the media and everything, the news stations, to stay out of the sun. The sun's bad for you. Or to put on all these lotions and stuff, which they've already, I've seen broadcasts about that, looking at these and the activations of the sun and those lotions and how much harmful it is for your skin, because of the chemicals being used and from the sun as well. But that's another story. But I just want to get on here and share, part of my day with you guys, share, some positive information. You know, and I got some more information that I want to share too. When I was talking about that video I put up about the access, AXIS, right? And then um, people have mentioned something about the moon reflects the Earth, um, and then the sun, heats it, gives it the energy. So it's like saying the moon is the matrix, and then the sun, is the electronics of it. So I got to thinking about that. It's just a perspective or an idea, but what if, because there's people that admit, showing what Earth looks like, round and flat like a record, right? But put it up next to the moon, right side by side. The images on the front of the moon, because the moon doesn't rotate, it just spins. So it shows the same landmass as how it's laid out on the land as it is on the moon, the front image of the moon. And then the moon as a dragon's mother's egg, and the sun as, shoots off its sperm, CMEs, right? I was thinking about that as, if we're in a matrix, is this world really a world? Or is it, I was thinking from a computer, if I was stuck in a computer, if I was in a computer, how would I try to get out of this system? And I think the way out is the moon. The moon controls our emotions. The moon controls the water, the waves, the seasons. So whatever's happening to our environment happens to us. So I was like thinking, I wonder if we are in a big cube. Yeah, that's what was kind of I'm seeing. It's like, this is a big cube. There's a sun as an electric source, and then we have the moon as projecting a reality, and we are stuck in that reality. Perhaps taking a bite out of the apple is where we are all up in a like stasis, or our true body. It could be possibly in some type of cylinder or something, and we are in some type of dreamland, projected into this reality. Oh, I hope that sounded right. But this reality is the cube. So that, Islam, they got the cube. You've got the Egyptians, the worship of the sun, the energy. And you've got some that worship the moon, right? I think it's the Native Indians. I'm not sure. So it's kind of interesting when we look at it, and it's like, are we even, is this really real? Even though it seems and acts real and feels real, but are we, our actual true bodies, somewhere else in another container, and we are like Avatar, where he lays in that container, and next thing you know, he wakes up in this body that's created for him. That kind of thing. And it makes you wonder why they show those kind of movies to us. Maybe it's perhaps giving us a hint. But either way, pretty interesting. Have a great day.